Hi, this is Dan Gwynn with FrancisSchaefferStudies.org, and it's my privilege to introduce you to the first episode of Speaking Truth to Tension. And so this episode, we just want to start off with just a little bit of an introduction, just trying to introduce you to the concept behind this notion of speaking truth to tension and why a Speaking Truth to Tension podcast. And specifically, why would Francis Schaeffer Studies want to do a podcast? We've been going 14 years and doing this, and we've have not yet done that. We've done some videos, actually multiple videos, including about 90-some videos on YouTube, but we had not gone further. It's really something that we wanted to do for many years. Previous years, we tried to start something. I tried to start a vlog, and we're doing some things with that, but there were a lot of technical challenges, some things that weren't working out. It just was a little rough, and it became cumbersome, and we just never did push it much further. There's general time challenges in general for myself, but it was something I have to say that the Lord had been prompting me to do over so many years, but I really didn't have what I needed. I needed to be able to have some things like a studio. As you can see behind me, I have all the works of Francis Schaeffer, and I have this little spot where I can record, and so we've sort of built a studio in my home here that I can just sit down and record. And so you'd be surprised how hard that can be to put all that together, to get the right lighting, to get the right audio, and to get all the ability to do any sort of streaming or recording. It can be a little bit of a challenge. And so it was kind of a growth thing for me in particular, trying to get ready to do this. And so I have an area here where I can study and as well as present to you and kind of open up to you some of the things that we're doing in Francis Schaeffer Studies. So I'm looking forward to that. But I want to address the specifics of the name. Why Speaking Truth to Tension? Some may be familiar with the book, Truth Amidst Tension. That's a book I've written on Francis Schaeffer's apologetic, and Truth Amidst Tension is about Schaeffer's methodology of speaking truth in the midst of tension, finding the tension that exists and speaking to it with God's truth. Now, the book really highlights targeting that tension in people in our culture, but also even how we can affect that in just simple things, even like showing hospitality and love. I guess that may not be always simple. It's sometimes very hard to love people that don't love you. But again, that's part of that emphasis, learning how we target tension by our actions. And now tensions, sometimes people ask me, what do you mean by tensions? And, is that just general? What are you talking about? And so if you've not read that book, maybe that could be kind of confusing. Tensions really are, as Nancy Piercy describes it, is a cognitive dissonance where people or movements or culture live in conflict with the world that God has made. They are where that they're not only that conflict, but that conflict actually generates further worldview schisms, further implications, because there are actual consequences to tensions. And so when you live in conflict with God's world, you end up running into tension more and more, and it escalates. And so that's part of the things that we see in our culture today. And so that gets me to my next point, is why now? If I feel that in our world now we have numerous constant tensions before us, in Schaeffer's understanding, this is a place where we can speak. We as a church need to be more equipped and knowledgeable in how we live with apologetic intent. We need to live as both truth and love bearers. The two don't have to be at odds with each other. They both can be simultaneously represented, and that was one of Schaeffer's big emphasis. And likewise, I think we need to really seek thoroughly to emphasize Schaeffer's final apologetic, and that is visible oneness. When he targets that final apologetic, he's speaking about what Jesus prays in his pastoral prayer, specifically that God would make us one. And so it's going to take more than just human effort. It's going to take God working in us and us actually surrendering to Him to make that happen. And so I look forward to this podcast helping to contribute to that, and I hope that it will be a blessing to you in that respect, as well as culture at large. I want to present just a little bit of news. Some of you may or may not be aware that there is a conference coming up for Francis Schaeffer Studies. We are going to be attending the Rochester L'Abri Conference, and that's in February. And here's a little ad on that. So great. So we have the Rochester L'Abri Conference that we're going to be at, and we hope to actually film a bit of the podcast there as well, and to do some kind of special highlights from that conference. And then also, I want to bring your attention to a couple things that have gone on. Some of you may know that we had an accident at one point where we had some equipment failure and had lost a hard drive that had specifically had a ton of our backlog of video work. Through some research and some hard work, eventually I was able to recover that. And so what we have now is this large backlog of video that we will be releasing. And so one of those that released right away is this year is Schaeffer's Summer Bible School. It's a documentary that we filmed in St. Louis by talking with several of his students, as well as some people that have historical knowledge about the events that actually transpired.
The whole church got involved with Summer Bible School. We even wrote songs. Come and bring your friends to Summer Bible School. Learning more of Jesus, that will be the rule. Come to Summer Bible School. And the whole church knew that. We sang it and were involved in it. Those were good days.
And then we also released just the first kind of comical little short called Schaeffer FAQ, but we'll have some deeper questions coming, I promise. But you want to check that out as well. Along with that Schaeffer Summer Bible School, to show you a bit of some acquisitions that we have that we were able to acquire from Barbara Sprick, which is one of Schaeffer's students. And so I'll show you one of those. This one in particular is a shot. It was shot by Barbara Sprick's father. And this is a picture, of course, of two boys, but these boys are on a program really called, it was basically for empire builders, and later became youth or Children for Christ. And then likewise, there's another one here that Barbara provided, which I thought was quite wonderful. And this is an actual shot of in front of the church itself, and there's Summer Bible School programming. You see all those students there. So thank you to her and for providing those to us. And it's quite wonderful to be able to share them with you in some way. Sometimes we have all of these items in our collection, and we don't always get to share them with you, and that's one of the things that I hope to do regularly in this program that we have as far as our podcast, to regularly share bits and pieces of acquisitions that we have. All right, everyone. So, we're still getting used to this. I know I'm kind of acclimating to the whole idea of a podcast, and so we're going to keep this brief, but just wanted to thank you in particular for your interest, for checking this out. This is a little introduction to some of the things that we'll have. We'll have a lot of things going on, in particular the kind of recap of events. I also have some interviews set up for the future here. We'll also have a lot of different interaction with various scholars that are going to shed some light on some of these tensions that we're talking about. And before I close, I just want to say thank you to our Patreon members who are helping support this work. And lastly, I just want to remind you, truth without love is ugly, love without truth is compromise, and always, always speak truth to tension.